Arch Manning is a massive, massive talking point for everyone across the country. And we've said it too. We think Arch is going to be pretty good out there in Austin. I really believe he will be. So much talent, so much ability, the pedigree, the fact that he's had a couple of years to develop under Steve Sarkisian and be in that system. I love that. But here's my big question for Texas as it pertains to their 2025 aspirations. How stable is everything around Arch Manning? Because, y'all, to be real, like, Twitter isn't real life. And Twitter will tell you that Arch Manning should be the first pick next year. They tell you he should be the second coming of Peyton Manning. Twitter's got a lot of opinions that are extreme about Arch Manning. But the reality is, it's his first year as a starting quarterback in college football. And I keep saying this. I tell you, temper expectations. I think he's going to be great. But can we all just, like, take a deep breath for a second and understand the dude hasn't played a snap as the guy in Austin just yet? I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't think he needs to be Josh Allen from, the very first time he touches the field for Texas. Now, it would be nice because you play Ohio State the first game. So, that's one thought around this thing. But there's an old saying, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a first-year starter. That's what Arch Manning is. And so I'm still very high on Texas. I have him preseason right now, number 1 in the country. Yes, in some part because of I trust Arch Manning, but even more so because I trust everything else around Texas and what they have on this roster. Like the offensive line, yeah, you're replacing some pieces. Steve Sarkisian feels good about it. If Steve Sarkisian feels good about it, I think we should all feel good about it too. The defense, they're going to be nasty again. Names like Colin Simmons, who was an absolute problem last year as a true freshman. Just a teenager wrecking shop last year in college football. Anthony Hill, he's back. I trust Michael Taft in the secondary and what they are back there. Like there's a lot there to be excited about defensively. But to me, this is where Steve Sarkisian kind of just gets to kind of wink at college football. Like we've all seen different movies where the main character is about to attempt something kind of insane that seems impossible or whatever. They just they feel good about it, so that they throw you a quick wink. That's Steve Sarkisian right now. It's year 5. And so he gets to show you how he's recruited over his entire time out there in Austin. This is a spot now where Texas, from a roster perspective, gets to show you they've been recruiting with the big dogs. Right? You go look at what they've done these last 3 years, 3 top 10 classes. 2 of those top 10 classes were within the top 3. One of those, this most recent cycle, was the number 1 class. They've been recruiting with what it takes. You look at how they used the portal. They took some pieces. There was no real splashy move, was it? And if there was one, it was like Emmett Mosley from Stanford, who's going to be a good player for them. But there was no, wow, Texas really met a need here. We weren't talking about Texas meeting some intense needs on their roster because they don't feel like they have intense needs on their roster. Why? Because Steve Sarkisian has recruited at a high level. He's anticipated at a high level. He did it before they got to the SEC. There's a reason why when they were in the Big 12 there last year, they're taking a knee, driving in against Alabama in Tuscaloosa to finish that game out with the entire Texas crowd that was traveled there to Alabama chanting SEC, SEC, SEC. Like, there's a reason why they were able to do that, because Steve Sarkisian had built the roster to be in a place to go compete at that level. I really feel like, based on the moves they haven't made this offseason, Steve Sarkisian feels pretty good about this roster in that same vein. He's anticipated a year like this to keep winning at a high level in the SEC. So I think it's stable, because if it wasn't, Sark would make some moves. I really do. So how stable is everything else around Arch Manning? Don't take my word for it. Take Steve Sarkisian's word for it. He is telling you we feel good. If they didn't feel good, they would make more moves to eventually feel good, because Steve Sarkisian wouldn't go into a season where he doesn't feel awesome about the roster. So all that's to say, Texas, yeah, Arch Manning, I hope he's great. I think he can be very, very good, but everything else around him at Texas, based on what Steve Sarkisian with his actions is telling us, they're going to be in a good spot here in 2025.